23rd Indian Express news article. First article is related to tribal at top. People will have faith in system. In Marmo's town, pride and hope. Marmo is who is from Odisha's Santal community. You have to know about this. Which community is from? Marmo is. She is from Santal community. Okay. Next article that we are moving into is related to coming under spotlight. Powers of Governor Flow Test Law. Article 174(2) Class B of the Constitution gives the power to the Governor to dissolve the Assembly on the aid and advice of the Cabinet. However, the Governor can apply his mind when the advice comes from Chief Minister whose majority could be in doubt. In 2020, Supreme Court in Sivraj Singh Chauhan and us versus Speaker, Madhya Pradesh Legislative Assembly and us upheld the powers of Speaker to call for a floor test if there is a prima facie view that the government has lost its majority. The Governor is not denued of the power to order a floor test where on the basis of material available to the Governor it becomes evident that the issue as to whether the government commands the confidence of the House requires to be assessed on the basis of floor test. Under Article 175 Class 2, the Governor can summon the House and call for a floor test to prove whether the Governor has the numbers. In detailed judgment, the court also explained the scope of the power of Governor and involved and the law resolving around floor test. When the House is in session, it is a speaker who can call for a floor test, but when the assembly is not in the session, governor's residuary power under Article 163 allow him to call for a floor test. In 2020 ruling, Supreme Court had also discussed the right of a political party to access the capitative MLAs who are whisked away to a resort. The political bargaining or horse trading, as we noticed, is now an oft repeated usage in legal precedents. Next article is expecting 7.5% growth of rate this year, says Prime Minister. BRICS Business Forum may develop a platform for regular exchanges between the startups in BRICS countries. He also called for dialogue on innovation-led economic recovery. This year we are expecting 7.5% growth, which makes us the fastest growing major economy. We have technology-led growth. We have made innovations-friendly policies in many areas like space, blue economy, green hydrogen, clean energy, drones, and geospatial data. The value of Indian digital economy will reach $1 trillion by 2025. The growth of the digital sector also encouraged the participation of women in the workforce. There are approximately 36% women out of 4.4 million professionals working out in IT sector. The Chinese president who chairing the forum slammed the US and European Union for imposing sanctions against Russia for its invasion of Ukraine, saying the act of imposing curbs will harm people around the world. Next article is G7 summit, Modi to visit Germany on June 26th and 27th. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Germany on June 26th and 27th to attend the annual summit of G7. From Germany, Modi will travel to UAE to June 28 to pay his condolence on the passing away of Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the former president of Gulf nation. Next article that we are moving into is related to Naveen meets Pope in Vatican. He also presents Patachitra painting, which is you have to know what is Patachitra painting. He is the Chief Minister, Odisha's Chief Minister. On behalf of Odisha's Chief Minister, it was presented to the Pope. Okay, IOC develops a new indoor solar cooking system to replace LPG. Next article is related to this one, that is Indian Oil Corporation Research and Development Wing has developed a new solar cooking system which is currently being tested at 60 locations in the country. Its use is likely to be scaled up soon. Surya Nutan, that means cooking system called Surya Nutan. This is a revolutionary step, is a complete paradigm shift. If the idea is taken forward well, if there is a complete commercial exploitation, the private sector will join in and there are so many households and the cost will come down. And also say the cooktop can remain indoors in the kitchen and it has a thermal battery that stores the heat. Insulating material has been selected carefully to minimize heat loss. We are going to scale up in the next 3 months. If there are subsidies, it can be manufactured at around 10,000 to 12,000, he said. Next article is regulating global commons. That is, World Trade Organization Agreement on Fisheries less than perfect is a milestone in trade governance. The article talks about on one of the most promising outcome of recently concluded 12th Ministerial Conference of World Trade Organization is the adoption of new first of its kind substantiability driven trade agreement called Agreement on Fisheries Subsidies, that is AFS. Okay, the significance of the adoption of AFS can be gauged from the fact that this is only the third instance of amending World Trade Organization agreement in its 27-year history. The aim of AFS, as echoed by Sustainable Development Goal 14.6, is to address the harmful fishery subsidies provided by the countries towards marine fishing and to save the world's fishing stock from further depletion. Fundamentally, AFS prohibits three kinds of subsidies. First, illegal, unreported or unregulated fishing. Second, fishing of all already overexploited stocks. Third one is fishing on unregulated high seas. As a part of a special and differential treatment, the developing countries like India have been given a 2-year transition period from phasing out two kinds of subsidies within their exclusive economic zone. The subsidies for fishing in other member waters also that contribute to overcapacity, overfishing. India has been steadfastly demanding that developing countries be given a long transition period of 25 years to put an end to overcapacity, overfishing subsidies within their exclusive economic zone. India's stance on this issue is rooted in its national interest, given its long coastline of nearly 7,500 km. The blue economy, sustainable use of ocean resources for economic growth, occupies a cardinal place in India's development trajectory. India has set a target of exporting marine products worth 14 billion by 2025. Thus, India needs a policy space to invest in developing the marine infrastructure to harness the full potential of blue economy. Moreover, India needs to protect the livelihood and concerns of the close to 4 million marine farmers, and majority of whom are engaged in small-scale artisanal fishing, who does not pose a great threat to sustainability. India rightly contend that World Trade Organization disciplines should not be developed in a manner that throttles its emerging sectors, while richer nations continue to negotiate the exemptions from indefinite subsidization and exclusion of horizontal and non-specific fuel subsidies. That is, fuel subsidies not limited to marine fishing purposes in the text. Rich countries have historically provided massive subsidies to build capacity for large-scale fishing and fishing in distant waters, thereby contributing the most to depletion. The sheer numbers, India provided subsidies worth mere $277 million in 2018, in sharp contrast to top 5 subsidies: China, European Union, US, South Korea, Japan, and whose subsidies range from $7,261 to $2,860 million respectively. However, India demands for a long transition period was not acceptable to many countries who insisted on this period being 7 years. Consequently, World Trade Organization members countries agreed to a limited ASF sans regulations disciplining OCOF subsidies, which have been pushing to future and are expected to be completed within 4 years. If negotiations fail, AFS will stand terminated as provided in Article 12. Meanwhile, all countries can provide most OCOF subsidies that is expected for fishing on unregulated high seas. For the sake of sustainability, the countries need to overcome their differences soon and forge a comprehensive agreement with the inclusion of meaningful SNDT, else they risk the indefinite continuation of harmful subsidies by all players, or weaponization of this agreement as a bargaining chip in the other negotiations. For India, the AFS is a less than perfect, with the potential of no real outcome at the end of 4 years if the negotiations fail. But the negotiations over the global commons are not easy. The countries true to sustainable development goals should fulfill their mandates of sustainability. A deletion of rewriting. The article talks about chopping off sections from a textbook is much easier than writing one. Yet the deletion made to social science textbook by NCERT revealed by Indian Express investigation. Let us continue this video in the next video. This article in the next video. If you like the video, please do share, like, comment and subscribe. You can get a notification for the daily news articles related to Indian Express in the daily manner. Okay, thank you.